So my content, my platform is for people who are generally not on the internet. This is not for an audience of TikTok. This is for those who are not on TikTok. And if that's not you, then you need to keep scrolling. This content is for people who are unaware of the damages that these motherfuckers are doing to your lives. They're erasing your memory of what human is and how to order food at a Starbucks. They're erasing your memory on what it means to communicate with the person at the checkout line at Walmart. These are normal things that successful people in the world would just go shopping at Walmart and used to feel safe, which I protect myself, but I'm very aware of who you are around me and that you're all fucking evil as shit. And you're all sending daggers and darts out to everybody in the fucking room because you're that fucking mentally ill because of what Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have done to allow Venezuelan gangs to shop next to you in line where they scream at the top of their lung in Spanish to disrespect everybody, to brag about the fact that they crossed the border with no permission and they're gangbangers. So everyone keeps their head down and they silently send darts out to everybody, where then an Indian man who was not born in this country tries to violate Americans by acting like he's equal to me. But you ain't equal to me. Why are you not equal to me? Because you're not a nice person. Because you've taken advantage of the Constitution. Because you worked in DEI. Because you tried to take from me without permission. Because you aren't acting like an American, you're acting like an Indian. You don't have options. Anywho, moving on to what I wanted to tell you about those of you who are operating off the internet, who are not aware of how it works. You're the worker at Walmart, and you follow 400 people on TikTok, and they give you ratchet advice like be kind or eat clean or I don't know, any ratchet advice that you can think of, like whatever topic you can think of. We could say dating advice, I don't know. Okay? But this is all off the words of uneducated, middle school education. You may be a Walmart worker and you might even have a college degree, but because this person has a Hollywood movie and this person has 5 million, 40 million followers and a successful business, this one is engaged to that one and has 1.2 million on TikTok. That one has connections, I guess. And this one is a slime ball that makes you laugh, but she's actually violating you. And so all these people creating content are telling this girl how to behave. Because this becomes the cesspool of society. All of these people are the cesspool of sickness. All carrot chasing. Like never, it's never stopping. Like Nicole Lapin makes the weird fucking videos, but because she was on a podcast with Gary Vee, it fuels her to continue to produce. Oh, I'm making it in the business. I'm married to a rich guy. Oh, I'm making it in the business. I got 500 views, but it really looks like I have 65,000 views and 5,000 likes and no comments, but nobody's really watching. But subconsciously, because the energy of the room, which would be the TikTok space, like the actual internet itself, the internet is subliminally sending you messages through the Walmart lady to interfere with your life, because the internet works in the air. And energy is in the air. And so that's the Walmart person everybody's on TikTok. And everybody's in a certain circuit of TikTok, of the mother circuit, which is another nightmare. There's the models, there's the celebrities, there's the lowlifes, there's this, there's that, there's this. They're all on a different frequency, and they're all operating like this. And they all have bad attitudes. And they're all evil as shit. And they all say that they're American and they believe in this and they're woke in this. But none of those actually things make any fucking sense. They've actually turned all our world upside down to create the thing in history that we haven't seen since the Middle Ages, I would say. This is probably worse. I don't even know if this is worse than I think this is worse than the Middle Ages. Like in the Middle Ages, they would go up to somebody and they would say, chop the leg off of that person or arms off of that person because they stole. Well, instead of chopping off the arms, they tell people to do it, and then it's done on the internet. And then Bella Dolan makes a video that makes it look like she's all happy and shit, while she just tries to stab me in the chest. Bella Dolan. One of the most evil, vicious bitches in history, but you won't be able to tell that she's evil and vicious because look how friendly and kind she is. Go ahead and point fingers at Gary Vee, but you do not follow his fucking shitty ass content. You fucking know it. Your little bitch ass at 14 years old is a spoiled, rotten little slut. And the fact that nobody saw that she was a spoiled, rotten little bitch and they followed her ass, it's embarrassing as Americans. It's embarrassing to see what you're willing to follow and what you're willing to fall for. It's embarrassing to see where you'd be willing to think that makes sense. None of that shit Gary says makes really a whole lot of sense because you listen from a place of eat clean. Because you are agreeing to the fact that eat clean is the way his brand is going to go because you don't talk against it. See, none of you fight for what's right. You only fight what's right for you. And that's not how America was built, by the way. But that's how the Roman Empire was built. That's how the Ponzi scheme of the whores and the bitches were. That's how their empire was built. So they're out there working crowds. The wellness oasis that Gary Vee is hosting for all these fucking whores is literally the epitome of building an empire of a Roman Empire to destroy your lives for the future of your children. And you have children. Well, they all act like they're so fucking friendly, but the reason they're fucking friendly is because they have money. And they're invited to have a seat at the table. The only reason that you're in a fucking good mood, you motherfucker. The only reason these pieces of shit are in a good fucking mood is because they have a seat at the table, and so they just run with that shit. Well, how can I get more views? How can I get more views? How can I be prettier? How can I go here? How can I do this? Gary Vee, how many fashion shows have you and Mona Van been to? How many gala events have you taken her to? How many dinners have you sat across from her? How many hand holdings have you done and kisses have you done in public? How many were videotaped and how many were not videotaped? And you were probably going to see in the form of thousands. All off the sake of branding and imaging for her brand. How many videos have you taken were instigative and abusive? And that's the ultimate vibe of the entire internet. That is created by Persians, by Muslims, by the people of the Middle East. That's Qatar. That's the people of LA. That's the fuck faces in New York City. That's how shallow you motherfucking loser asses are. These are the trust fund babies that you all used to wonder about. They're now in your fucking faces, and they're named Bella Dolan and Mona Van and Melissa Wood. Now they're trying to be influencers to tell you how to feel, but they've always been miserable as shit. Now they're ruining everybody's lives to model and mimic for them so they can make money, which they try to rob you of your happiness and call that happiness. However, the happiness button is wearing out. It's running out. The Roaring 20, the problem is, Gary Vee, is that you enable these people. You enable these people to do this shit so that you could get in and be a part of their white party, you dumb fuck. So that you could be a part of the shit. Because you wanted to be part of the Roaring 20s, and I guess you got your fucking wish. You should go take a look at that movie, The Great Gatsby, and how Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert Redford played that role. I wonder what happened to him at the end, everybody.